Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us. This is Boston Film Gala's third Facebook Live event and my first, so this is very exciting for everybody, hopefully. My name is Tatiana Ivan and I am the technical director for the Boston Film Gala. And before I introduce these three wonderful filmmakers that I have here next to me, I'm just going to let you know what the Boston Film Gala is about if you don't already know. For those of you that do, fantastic, thank you so much for joining us. And for everybody else, the Boston Film Gala is a unique film festival. It spans 2 days, August 19 and 20, so not this upcoming weekend, but the next one. And it celebrates local filmmakers and films. There's going to be filmmaker Q&A panels following each film screening block, and there's also a closing night party on Saturday night called The Gala, the Gala itself. So you might be wondering, what is it that makes this unique? Well, besides showcasing films, we're also celebrating local visual artists. There's going to be a free art gallery at the venue that you can walk through. You'll be able to interact with some of the artists actually on site as well. And we also showcase local businesses and we thank them for their generous support of the creative community. Places like Garlic and Lemons, Neshoba Brook Bakery, Sunset Grill and Tap. They're going to be providing some of the catering for the gala. And there's companies like EV Events and Flannel Audio who make the whole event technically and organizationally possible. There's online communities like Grub Street and Yelp who empower their users to enrich their lives by finding local classes and workshops and events to go to. And companies like Landmark Theaters and Johnny Cupcakes, Downey Cider House, who have generously donated raffle items for the raffle that's going to be happening at the gala. And there's many, many, many more. The gala itself is going to feature live music from local musicians and bands, yummy food, delicious drinks, and great people. And there's going to be, as I mentioned before, a raffle that's going to be included with your gala ticket as well. And last and certainly not least, Boston Film Gala is going to donate a portion of the proceeds to Project Hope. And they're an organization right out of Boston, and their mission is to help families move up and out of poverty and homelessness. So we hope that you'll join us in supporting them as well. And anyways, that's enough name dropping. You can find all of those details and more on our website, bostonfilmgala.com/attend. You'll get the schedule, you'll get to see the list of the films, and you'll also get to see the films and filmmakers that we're going to be talking to today. So with that, take a deep breath. I'm going to introduce my guest today. We have Stephen Szmed, who is the writer and director of Red Room. Jennifer Jen Potts, writer and director of Charlie and Poppy, and Anthony Scibelli, writer and director of the Anthony Scibelli web series. So welcome, thank you very much for joining us today. Now, I've got some burning questions that I'm going to ask you, and I know that some of our audience does too. So at the end of my round of questions, audience, get ready, get your fingers ready. You are going to type in questions in our comment right on the video post, and we're going to read them out at the end of after my questions, and you'll get your answers. So without further ado, and also filmmakers, feel free to ask each other questions if you find that you want to as well. We had a pretty nice conversation before we started today, so I'm looking forward to more of that. Okay, so to start us off, tell us a little bit about your inspiration for the stories that you've written without giving away too many spoilers. Tell us what the writing process was like. If anybody wants to start off first.
So I've always done like a lot of weird, funky horror films, and that's always what I've enjoyed, writing and shooting the most. And Red Room is actually inspired by a true story that happened around where I'm from in Kansas City, where the owner of a popular chain of tattoo parlors was renting out his upstairs apartment above one of his stores to one of his employees. She went away on vacation, came back, and over the course of a few days found a bunch of hidden cameras all throughout our apartment, and they all were wired down to a computer hidden behind some shelves in the basement. And so I sort of took that chocolate and added my peanut butter in the sense that I was like, well, what if he was watching her one night and watched her commit a murder, and sort of kind of a Rear Window-esque kind of thing. And I sort of spun some more paranormal influences into it, and I ended up with a film called Red Room.
I did not shoot a horror film. Charlie and Poppy was actually inspired by the relationship my oldest son, and my father-in-law had, where he used to take him every week after preschool, pick him up from preschool, and they'd spend time at a train station. And when my own grandfather passed away, I kind of wondered, like, how do you, as people, continue to live on and keep their spirit living on? And so that sort of question created the idea behind the film. And I wrote it just, it was in my brain for a while. I sat down and wrote it in a couple hours and tweaked it, and that was that.
So my film is inspired by a lot of things that really happened. I don't know how much I want to get into the plot. I know we're supposed to keep it a little, I guess, under wraps, but
how much of it is fiction versus reality, would you say? 50-50?
It's basically a documentary.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so my film is the Anthony Szibelli web series, and this is episode 1, Johnny is the title. And we have 4 other episodes, and they're each one is based on things that happened in real life, but they're all in varying levels of how close to reality they were. Johnny's pretty close. There are quite a few things in that happen in real life, either to me or to friends of mine, and we kind of combined them together and made them into a little narrative. Yeah.
Do you do any improv on the actual filming, like on set, or do you pretty much have the script down?
The script is pretty down. There's a little bit of improvising, not a whole lot. Not I don't think any more than any other. It wasn't like we went in with an outline and just goofed around. It was, if there was any improvisation, it was twisting a line or adding a line it was pretty strict.
All right, Jen.
Yeah.
Of course, Paramount to any great story is a great cast of actors that bring the characters to life. And during Charlie and Poppy, we do have a gentleman, an actor that literally transforms before our very eyes as you're watching the film. And there's another actor, going to a very intimate, vulnerable space. So, in your casting process, how, tell us a little bit about how you went when you selected the actor. Was there an aha moment, like, yes, that's it? Did you know what you were kind of looking for specifically when you?
So the 2 actors you're talking about are my adult actors, Warren Hammock, who's in his 80s, and Will Bouvier, who's an actor that I've actually worked with for about 10 years, and I write him into scripts. There's no actor that I have ever loved working with more than Will, because he continually he delivers. Like, he really understands the role. His instincts are just so spot on all the time. So that intimate moment you're talking about, I just want to say we got that in one take. I could explain to you why we had to do that, but that was one take. The older gentleman, Warren Hammock, was actually at I got my MFA in screenwriting, and we have actors come in and read our scripts. And he was one of the actors one day reading a script, and as soon as we were done, I was already in pre-production, hadn't cast that role yet, was really miserable trying to find the right actor. And I pulled him aside and I immediately made him commit to me. And that was a wonderful experience. He did transform that weekend. It was actually kind of an emotional weekend. It was very cold. We were shooting outside, and he spent a lot of time in the weather. and I think that contributed to his deterioration, literally. He also, his sister passed away the night before we started shooting. This man is so dedicated, but I think he really used some of that throughout the weekend. I mean, he's a lifelong actor. He's amazing. He spent his whole career as an actor. He's been in B movies too. Men Need Mars, Women Need Mars, something like that. You should look it up. Anyway, so yes, he does transform, and when working with the best actors, you will get the best results. And those two actors are without a doubt actors that I would continually work with again and again.
You have to see Charlie and Poppy, because that man does not look a day over 55, at least in the first scene.
He is a day over 55. And if you're watching this, Ryan, I'm sorry I'm giving that away.
Steven, now you've got a cameo in your own film as well. And when you were looking for your actors, what kind of qualities were you looking for them to have? Did you have something specifically in mind?
Yeah, I had a few things specifically in mind, just because I figured all the characters were kind of, all tropes in their own sense, and I didn't really do a lot of casting. It was all just kind of people who were referred to me. The landlord character I had actually seen in another short film that one of my friends had made, and I was pretty much like, I want him, and he is actually as bizarre off screen as he is on screen, so he's perfect for the role. The guy that comes over to meet the witch, that was just referred to by a friend, and I looked at his Facebook and I was like, alright, sure.
Headshot looks good.
Yeah, and the actress, she actually was brought on 2 weeks before filming. I had one actress who was a friend of mine, but then she kind of came to me and was like, I have all these scheduling conflicts, and I, as a director, I couldn't deal with that. I was like, I need someone fully committed for this weekend. And so another person working on the film with me was like, I think you would like this actress. And so we met, did an audition, and I was like, yeah, no, you can do this part. And as for me, I've always just done little cameos in a lot of short films I've done. I don't have a problem with appearing on camera. A lot of times, I kind of like just laughing at myself. And for the role I played, it was such a small bit role, I didn't really want to have to deal with finding someone to play it. So I kind of just was like, well, whatever, I'll cast myself, and that was my plan from the beginning anyway. So
I think your character should reprise a role in a sequel to Red Room, because I would totally watch that. As a Brighton resident myself. And when you see the film, you'll know what I mean.
I've been talking about doing a sequel, and at first I was like, no sequel. But then, one of my friends, he was like, I like how you left it open for a sequel. I was like, well, what are you talking about? There's no way that. And then I started thinking about it a little bit more, and I did actually come up with a premise for a sequel. And I don't know if we'll ever actually make it, but there is actually an outline for a sequel now, and who knows what it'll be.
Next project. Anthony, speaking of sequels,